What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Every Week We Follow. Unfortunately, it is not another one. It is another defeat at Villa Park in the
Two in a row.
Premier League. 2 in a row. That hasn't happened, mate, for 2 years.
I know.
We haven't had 2 successive defeats at home for 2 years. And if you said to someone it's against Everton and Brentford, not great, is it? Not great. But anyway, as always, please, if you are new here, do hit that subscribe button. We are on our way to 2,000 subs. Thank you so much for everyone who has already subscribed, dropped us the like, given us the comments, all the hypes, all that malarkey.
Yeah, we love you, mate.
And we love it. As always, if you want to enter in our competition to win that lovely signed football sat behind Gary from the squad last season, there's a QR code below. There's also a link in the description. Donate £5, please, to Acorns. That will get you an entry into the draw, which we'll be doing later on in the season. You'll also get some signed merchandise from Brian Little and Peter With. Cool. Right. So obviously, Gary, we both went to the game yesterday. What a game that was.
I fully committed to this game yesterday, mate. I fully committed. I went.
Oh, you didn't half, didn't you? I didn't. I haven't got the video or the photo. If you haven't seen it, check out in our shorts. Gary is doing a preview with Simon, our Brentford fan, at the game. Full kit. There's also stuff on TikTok of him like getting ready and all this stuff. Gary was full kit yesterday at the game.
Fully committed, mate. Fully committed to the course. Thank you to, again, as you've already said, to everyone that's hit the follow button. We're up to 6,700 almost on TikTok. Yeah. So we're on the road to 10,000 followers. Look, it's growing steadily, and it was really nice. We had bumped into a few people. A few people came over and said hi, and that was really cool.
Got a few shouts as well, mate.
Got 3 shouts. Yeah, a few shouts. Full kit. Go! And thankfully, it wasn't as cold as it seemed, because I was like, I was a bit worried about that. But no, look, my dedication obviously just wasn't there from the players. Do you know what I mean? I get paid to wear the kit. I had to pay for it, and still had to pay to watch the game, and we lost. Right? I don't know. I think, first of all, let's start by giving flowers to Brentford, because I think what
a defensive display that was, mate.
They could do only what they could do. Once the red card happened, we knew what was going to happen, and they kept their shape for the entire second half without anything really, apart from the goal.
The key thing is after the red card, they scored.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's the key, right? Like if they hadn't have scored, then we wouldn't have been coming away with a defeat. Because they weren't going to score in the second half. They didn't do anything.
Are we now, for want of getting criticised, are we allowed to go in on Pau Torres? Because, everyone seems to go in on Tyrone Mings for a mistake, right? He absolutely slated for his mistake on Thursday, what I've seen afterwards. No, it's not, mate. It's not different.
Yes, it's a mistake, but it's a bit harsh. I will say that I
haven't had time. I'm going to go back and show you the exact mistakes Pau Torres has made. Right, they're exactly the fucking same. Right, and it's cost us a goal. Right, and so while it's not the same, it's almost worse, because he's supposed to be the better centre half by all accounts. The clearance is shit. It needs to go in rose head or out for a corner. He passes it straight back to him. Now, I didn't see that at the game because I went for a piss. I heard the fucking goal go because it was stoppage time. I was holding it in, right, because I had a point before the game. And when I watched it back when I got home last night, several times, like the more you watch it, the worse it is.
The movement before the ball comes in is poor. So, like, as in Thiago's like doing this kind of like run around him, and Torres seems a little bit at sea, doesn't know where to go, and then so he's badly positioned and badly footed when that ball comes in, for starters. But it's also, we've said it a million times. I mean, Matson's got caught out a little bit, but again, it's that ball over the top, just a simple ball over the top, running back to goal. We just look all
rewind, right, and go back to the game at the G-Tech, right, and watch that goal, right, and see who's at fault for that goal, right, and it's Pau Torres again. Like, this is something I've been banging on about for weeks, right. You get him turned towards his own goal, he's fucking shit. He can't do with it, and like you say, he's out of position. His body language thing. So that pass, where you say, oh, okay, it's been harsh. No, if he's in a better position and he's slightly quicker,
yes, no, I agree with that.
It's easy to clear, and ultimately, that's cost us the game, because if it's 0-0 at half time, right, we come out, we go, because Emery went for it, like, took off Bogard, he went for it, brought on Bailey, And we peppered them. I think they got in our half twice.
I think we can play for another million hours.
And we don't score like that.
I don't think we score. I think we obviously get a draw, right, which would be 2 drop points. But here, this is 3 drop points that we're talking about here.
I was just disappointed in what we tried to do to break them down. We were trying to get in behind, and they didn't move. There was no space in behind. Why were we not? Like, and people go, I've heard a lot online last night, mate, that Tammy didn't touch the ball second half. But I promise you, if anybody actually watched his movement, yeah, exactly. So if you watched his movement, he was in and out of both the centre halves, right, trying to go fucking just put the ball in the box, and we didn't do it.
There's a few times when Pau Torres was on the ball, and I was sat behind him, and I could see a clear channel.
Hey, what the fuck are you doing on the pitch?
What?
You were sat behind Pau Torres. How did you...
No. No, from where I was sat, right? So Pau's here, the goal's there, right? And I literally sat there, and you got Pau Torres on the ball, and there's a clear channel straight through to Tammy, and Tammy is stood there going to fit, get it into my feet. He doesn't. He stops. He turns to Sancho or to Rodgers, goes out wide, and it's just frustrating because if you're gonna go, I understand it potentially with Ollie, right? He's not a 6'4" mountain or whatever in the box. Yeah. He's potentially not moving quite as much because of his knee or whatever, or maybe drifts out wide and then no one else is in the box or whatever. But if you're putting the ball along the back 4 and then out to wide areas, there's only 2 things you're going to do there. Well, 3 actually. 1 is run to the byline and try and cut it back, which is what we only did once, by the way, and actually almost had success with.
Yeah.
2, you're going to cross the ball in and ideally like whip it at head height. Like, kind of not this floated crap to the back post, completely bypassing Tammy, which is what we continually did. Or you're going to cut in and shoot. And now, whenever we cut in and shoot, they've got 3-4 massive defenders just basically throwing their bodies in front of the ball. So we were relying on another worldie there. Why are we whipping these balls in?
Where that happened, we had the disallowed goal, and Rodgers had a shot when he cut in, right? Because they were so well organised. And this is my frustration yesterday, is that we kept just trying to do the same thing. And I was like, that's not working. You're either going out to Cash and Bailey, or you're going out to Sancho and Maatsen. And we were just recycling it. Basically, this is how good Brentford were, and I should say Chris Hughes Brentford, because that's who you think the
right, just be clear. I was starting to go, what's his name? Chris Hughes? And then I was like, I know it starts I don't know it ends with ooze. So Keith Andrews.
So we all know James is a Love Island fan. So well done, Chris, on your victory, mate.
Is that who it was? Is that who Chris Hughes is? Did you check that? Check. Oh my God, yeah, he's literally the guy from Love Island. Right.
I wonder if he's got Ian Sterling in his head just telling him what to do.
No, he had nice hair. That's about it.
He had nice hair. He's got a lovely head of hair, that Chris. He has. He's a
Keith
lovely
Andrews,
fella.
A lovely perm. He's obviously been down where my nan used to get a hair done. Lovely.
Yeah. It's got that purple dye, mate. I just, so the frustration is that we just... What Brentford did well was basically the people that had the ball the most in the second half were Konza and Torres. And you just and when it went out wide, we'd play a little ticky-tacky stuff on the edge of the area, try and cut in. And if we did, like you say, a couple of times we did get to the byline, but it was floaty balls to the back post, and a couple of efforts from there was one moment where I thought we should have equalised, and it was Leon Bailey, and he did. It looked
mate.
Step over.
It looks worse when I watch the highlights, because when you're there, right, you can't quite tell how far out he is. And watching the highlights, I'm like, oh my God, he's actually in the box. Like, it's opened up for him. He doesn't even need to really get it top bins. Just hit the target. It's probably in.
Mate, at this point, I'm starting to think that our finishing coach is just telling him to put laces through it, because where's the finesse shot there? Like, he used to do
where's
that.
The RB?
Where was the RB? Because 23-24, Bailey just curls that into the far corner. It doesn't need to be blasted. What are we doing? Like, I talked to this back with Ava. Like, just, think about like what you're doing. Think of the goalkeeper, where the position is, and do you need to blast it? Like, because 9 times out of 10, if you just place it, like
Jamaldine Jamoa Aloba. Like, he's literally
Well,
shown you how to do
Morgan
it.
Rogers on Thursday, mate, that finish was
Yeah.
brilliant because
The
it's
corner,
just
yeah.
passed into the corner. Like, there's moments and times when you have to do a thunder bastard. When you're in, ultimately in line with the penalty spot, he's not one of them. Just fucking curl it in, but get your angle outside the post, and that's what Leon. And look, it's mine. But that goals change games, right? And I'm sick and tired of saying that. I want the T-shirt. I know that's a Michael Owen thing. So that is the build up to. I know what you're going to show. Let's get on to it.
Because we're talking about Leon Bailey and we're talking about goals. So obviously, this is the big controversial thing that happened in the game. Now,
that ball's touching the line.
No. Look, I look at that. I think at first glance, I'm kind of like, I think it's out. But the key word there is I think. Yeah. Right? Now, if it's a penalty, which generally tends to lead to a goal, right? If it's a penalty and the on-field decision is a penalty or not a penalty, VAR to intervene has to be obvious. They to clear an obvious error. They have to be 100% sure that the referee there has made a clanger, and that way they can reverse the decision, right? With this, from all the angles we've seen, and we don't know if VAR had a different angle, but considering the fact it took a good 5 minutes to make this decision, I'm going to say they didn't have another angle. You cannot tell me clear and decisively, and I'll put up the wording in a sec that they had on the board that the referee just said afterwards. You cannot tell me that you know that ball is out. So that's one point, right? If it's out, fine. Whatever. It's fine. The second point is for VAR to intervene, it's supposed to be part of the same attacking phase of play, the APP, right? This is 19 seconds before the goal. And to class a
corner flag. It's that fucking corner flag. That's a defensive play.
And apparently the definition of an attacking phase of play is it is immediate enough before the goal that the defense hasn't had a chance to set, and it's within the same phase of play. 19 seconds. We cross the ball across the pitch. We run up the pitch. Brentford have a chance. There's a save.
Yeah.
And he scores a rebound. How is that in the same phase of play? That is mental. So just to go to the second, just so I can continue ranting here, just to go to the second image here. So this is what was put up on the board. After VAR review, the referee overturned the on-field decision of a goal to Aston Villa with the ball, and this is another key word, by the way, deemed. So if the word deemed means I've decided or someone has decided. It's a subjective decision, right?
Yeah.
To be out of play within the attacking possession phase, the APP, which is what I was saying. The referee announcement was then. So this is the second thing, which completely fucking juxtaposes everything you just said.
He just said,
after review, the ball is factually out of play. So the restart will be a throw to Brentford. So they've used the word deemed, which means I think so. Yeah. We've decided, and factually. They are two completely. Those are not linked. Those words do not make sense together in a decision. It's absolute bullshit. Now,
I'm not saying the Premier League's corrupt, mate, but if it was, there would be signs.
Yeah. I mean, look. This is 49 minutes in. 49 minutes in. There was a whole other 50 minutes of that game for us. We should have done enough to win regardless. Yes. But as you just said, goals change games. Yeah, if that goal happens, mate, I guarantee you we go and win that 2-1.
Yeah.
No, we go and win that game because the whole ground's up. We're pushing. We've got a win to get. Like, I can't think, actually. I'll be interested to know. I feel like the amount of times we've had a goal overruled or disallowed for whatever at Villa Park, and whenever that happens, it sucks the life out of us and we never come back. We never come back when that happens. We always seem to just not be able to get over the line.
It was
frustrating as fuck. That was.
Yeah. It's a bullshit decision, and VAR is a fucking waste of time because it's the fact that the officials have not given it right VAR is supposed to be for those clear and obvious areas. It's not supposed to be picking stuff out. Some things have to be left for the decision of the referee. It's not supposed to re-ref the game. So if the linesman can't see it and the referee doesn't see it, then you can't go. You shouldn't be going back 20 minutes, right, to go and fucking pick it out.
What would have happened if that had played on there? We'd lost possession and they'd scored.
Yeah, interesting.
That it probably would have been deemed because it's not contentious because Villa didn't get the advantage.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't want to dwell in too much because it isn't the reason we didn't.
No, it's not. Look,
the game
again, but we started the show.
Massive point.
Flowers to Brentford because they defended brilliantly, but that decision is bullshit. VAR is bullshit until they get it right. I'm not against VAR. I think it should be used in the game, and if it was used like that consistently, right, to get to the right decision. So if that ball is out of play, right, fine. But you got 20 seconds until we score the goal. So someone in that VAR thing should have checked it and gone before we got to the goal and gone. By the time we got to the halfway line, no, you need to go back. The ball's gone out of play. It's a throw into Brentford, right? That's
no, it would have took them 5 minutes to decide, mate. That's the problem.
Well, but someone made a very valid point to me, mate. If you cannot make a decision within 60 seconds, right, you stick with the on-field decision. It's as simple as we're not wasting 5 minutes fucking looking at what in a camera angle you probably haven't got because as we said offline, you should be. If you're going to do that, have goal line technology around the whole pitch so you can have a bird's eye view, right, of looking down and go yes or no, because we also know from that angle, the only way you can see if a ball's fully out is if you've got a bird's eye view of the ball because it's a fucking sphere, right? And how many times have we looked at, and they looked, oh my God, no, it's stressing me out, fuck VAR, right? Yeah. But we move on because ultimately we didn't do enough to get everything from the game. We didn't create enough, we didn't move them around enough. Our play in general was too basic to get anything. But for VAR, yeah. But let's get on to the let's get into the positives. Mate, the positives, right, for me, man of the match, Douglas Luiz. Dougie
was amazing, wasn't he?
Thought he was superb.
I thought it was fantastic, mate. He was lovely. He was playing that little holding role exactly as Kamara would. He was allowing Bogard to kind of drift forward. It's interesting because Dougie in the past would have played that, but he would have drifted. He would have drifted more forward, right? Whereas he was very disciplined. It was interesting because obviously I had Graham sat next to me, Forest fan, come from Forest, and he was literally sitting there going, he wasn't doing any of this. No. None of this. And he also said he couldn't believe he played 90. He was like, he was like, he'll be off at 60. He hasn't got the legs, he hasn't got the fitness. Because for them, he just wasn't at it at all. He said,
mate, he didn't want to be there.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Right, his quick feet. He had little moments where he rolled people, and Konza should have scored in the 33rd minute from the
mate,
all over the top. Like, what the fuck was he doing? Or anyone but
anyone. But also just like
fucking clears the ball,
take a touch, do anything. Like, mate,
he could have done anything, right? He could have brought it down. He could have walked it into the net. He could have volleyed it with his left foot, right foot. He could have headed it. He could have, mate. He was in so much space. And he was, if you've seen a centre half, it was a clearance. It wasn't an effort on goal. It was a clearance. He fucking just booted it out. Like, it's like.
That was better than Lindelof's clearance the other day.
Yeah. And look, and actually, I did a TikTok live last night, and one of the things was a few people said to me, oh, we missed Ollie's running. And I said, I don't think we did. No. The way Brentford played, Ollie's runs would have made a fucking blind bit of difference.
Yeah, no.
Like, they were that deep in their own half. Like, Ollie would have been so ineffective. And actually, for Tammy in the first half, he was so unlucky not to get on the score sheet after Rodgers played him in. Brilliant movement. I don't think even Ollie gets to that ball, if I'm honest. No. I think he just
took it early as well. It was good running.
It's a good save. It was a good run. And he had a couple of moments, one where he stepped over the ball where he should have shot, whatever. But I was quietly pleased with what he did in terms of movement, and he's clearly got that yard of pace still that Ollie's probably lost. Now, what we need to do going forward is utilise them both. Whether that is kind of, hopefully Ollie will be fit he's got a week to recover. Like, if there's no real injury, that was probably a resting time to get him back for Bournemouth.
After the game.
No, I didn't see any post-match stuff because we had someone round.
They asked him. They said, "Will he be back next week?" And he literally just went, "I don't know."
Oh,
and then they went. He said, "I don't know." And then they went, "Does that mean he's out? How long do you think he's out?" And he went, "I don't know."
Well, look, let's be hopeful then, right? If he doesn't know, let's hope that there was no apparent injury, that it's a case of we've got a full week, well, 6 days now to kind of recover, train, and see what happens. And look, if he's not back, then Tammy runs the line, and that's fine. But my point I was going to make is that we have to utilise them both, and whether that is getting Ollie to start and make him run the channels for 60 minutes and then bring on Tammy with that little bit of extra pace and that little bit about him to kind of then, see it over the line. If that's what's going to happen, then fine. I don't think Tammy's going to be happy with that initially, but if he can get on the score some goals doing that, then he starts knocking on the door, doesn't he, to go, you need to start me. We need to utilise that for me. That is going to be key. And then, of course, Amadou Onana. Not sure why he didn't play yesterday, apart from took a little bit of a knock on Thursday.
No, again, it was apparently he said he had muscle tiredness from Thursday, so he was just feeling muscle fatigue. So he wasn't fit. He said he wasn't fit. So I was like, if he wasn't fit, then why was he on the bench? Like, if you're not fit and you're not gonna use them, why is he on the bench? Why are we not bringing him on? Like, it doesn't make sense. And that, like we said, was a prime game for him to be on the pitch, like for that second half, loading the box, trying to get balls in. Big 3 massive centre halves like around Tammy, which is why I was saying, arguably, if we'd had Ollie or whether it was Onana or whatever, we probably needed another body with Tammy in there, like someone moving him around so Tammy can then finish that, like just 2 of them moving around. Whereas because Tammy was just getting, he just had 2 of them on him constantly in that middle of the park. And yes, he was moving around, but so congested.
Well, it was just, we made it really easy for them. Like, all they had to do was keep their shape, and they did it brilliantly. That's all you got to do. Is like, and I saw your mate Chris Hughes going, like, just do this. And he meant
narrow, because he knows from because he knows with the size of their defenders and how congested it was, there was nothing. We weren't getting anything from one.
And that's all they did, mate. And so we were playing side to side. We'd get it out to the width. That they would obviously come and press, but once we got the ball in, it's literally 3 against 7. Do you know what I mean? And it was the balls weren't good enough going into the box. We had a couple of moments, like Bailey had a couple of, but then everything that we did have, they just blocked because there was enough bodies to get in the way. We had a couple of half shots that were cleared, and look, ultimately, I'm not. There was lots of people on my TikTok live losing their heads. That's it. Fucking season's over. Like, I'm like, mate, what
is wrong with people? I saw something on the Claret and Blue because they were doing a live. They do a live after the game, and someone commented saying, what was it? He said something about like absolute disaster. Like, we're in serious trouble. What do you mean we're in serious? Of what?
Qualifying for the Champions League.
What the fuck?
It's because again, I think it's a lot for Villa fans, the PTSD, mate. So you see that, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, they all won, right? So they've closed the gap a little bit. Fine. I'm hoping, right, because we've been in this situation before. We lost again. Yes, we've lost 2 in a row, but we lost against Everton and then bounced back with 2 excellent performances against Fenerbahce and Newcastle. And now we've got to do that again. We need to go away to Bournemouth next week. Tough game, right? 100% tough game away. Our record's not great, but we did it last year and we did it without Tielemans, right? And we had Onana step into that and he was brilliant. And so hopefully Onana will be fully week rested and be fit for that game. I think Onana and Dougie Luiz in the centre of that midfield will be enough. And then it's about being clinical. And, ultimately, the red card ruined the game for us because we struggled. It's weird because against the low block this season, we've been one of the best teams at breaking it down, 11v11. But when it's 10 like that, and the way we've just discussed it, it didn't work. But against Bournemouth, a team that are going to, try and win the game, we've got more than enough in that team still to go and win the game. Like 100%, I believe that. If we get a result against Bournemouth and let's say City lose against Liverpool, right, because that's who they've got next week, then we'd be second. And is everyone going to go, we're going to win the league again, right?
The thing with all this is, right, we've always said we can only concentrate on what we need to do. We've still got Man U, Chelsea and Liverpool to play. So it's all in our own hands. We are 4 points clear of Man U. Man U worry me a bit just because of the Carrick thing and the whole flying, that they're getting a bit of momentum now. But they won't win every game. And they won't win every game in the last minute of the bloody game.
No.
So they can't keep winning, and we won't keep. We will lose games and we will draw games, but I think we've got enough. We've also got a good enough run here in the next 4 games to rack up some points as well.
It's my next point, mate. They're huge now. These 4 games, like 2 home games, 2 away games, right? And
Why is this? Bournemouth. Obviously, we've got the FA Cup. We've got Bournemouth away, Leeds at home,
away, Brighton at home, Leeds at home, Wolves away. Those are the next 4 league games.
Yeah.
And
you've got to be at least, in my opinion, minimum winning your the 2 home games and the Wolves away.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
But mate, we're more than capable of winning all 4 and getting 12
points.
No,
we are.
Do you know what I mean? So if we get to get 12 points out of that, then we're in a very different circumstance. I just think we need to calm down a little bit. We've had to go through a little bit of transition here with losing our midfield, right, and having new players come in, and now. That was the first game, really, that Dougie and Tammy are thrown straight into the mix, and Barry's come on. It's not gone according to plan, but I think there's enough there that I've seen to go. Actually, I think we're going to be okay, right?
Yeah,
and then let's judge it on the next 4 games. If we don't pick up,
do you know who's after those 4 games?
Come on,
Chelsea.
Yeah.
Man U.
Yeah. Right.
So it's the next 6, really.
Yes.
If we can get good results from those next 4, and then those 2, I think the key with those 2 is don't lose them. If you can win them, fantastic. But if you don't lose
Chelsea's
them,
at home, isn't it?
What's that?
Chelsea's at home and Man U's away.
Yeah, Chelsea at home, Man U's away.
Fucking Old Trafford, mate.
Old Trafford. Fucking hell, it's horrible. But yeah, with those, and so I think after that, things will be a lot clearer. And you'll be coming into the end of the season in that end running. And I think...
Well, absolutely. It's a business end, right? That takes us to the end of February, middle of March, start of March, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Those games.
The other question I wanted to bring up was, how much more are we going to see Harvey Elliott?
Well, that's a good question. Yeah.
Is that 7 Premier League appearances now? So he's 3 off triggering that clause.
3 away.
Unless something's happening behind the scenes and they're looking to try and renegotiate that contract or rip it up and do a new one or something.
This is being recorded on deadline day, and maybe that's something that will be announced. I don't see anybody else coming in, right? But in terms of...
Emery said they're not going to be very busy today.
Yeah, he said after the game yesterday.
So smoke screen. Who knows?
Well, yeah, who does know, right? But I think it's probably unlikely now. We are where we are, and that's bloody frustrating. But we'll... if that was announced, I'd take it, because at least we can play Harvey at the end of the season without that obligation to buy, and he's a good option. I thought he did well on Thursday. He looked lively when he came on yesterday. He was running around, stuff down, little feet going around like Speedy Gonzalez. I think I said this from the start, mate. I think there's a player there that could do a job for us on that right-hand side. I think it's something we've got to try and utilise. If it's only for 3 more games, then so be it, or 2 more games. It's something that we're going to have to try and negotiate. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe Emery can produce the magic and get Liverpool to take that obligation away, but it's probably unlikely, because I think that Arne Slot said a couple of weeks ago, look, it's not our problem. But we've got the contract.
Well, it is. Surely, it doesn't benefit anyone, the current situation. We can't play him because of we can play him, but 2 more games. He's not benefiting because he's not getting played, and Liverpool aren't benefiting because his value is just completely plummeting through the floor because he can't play. So I don't know. Gary's gone. Oh, there he goes. He's
mate, I think my internet just dipped. I just didn't go in.
Did you hear anything what I said?
I just thought, shit, what's going on? It said you're having trouble connecting. And
okay. So what I was saying was, it doesn't benefit anyone. It doesn't benefit us because we can only play him for 2 games. It doesn't benefit Harvey Elliott because he can't play.
No.
And it doesn't benefit Liverpool because his value is plummeting through the floor because we can't play. So I'm just so actually, it doesn't benefit anyone, this situation. So surely Liverpool, they're not going to lose anything from just going, okay, because we're not going to play him. We're not going to buy him if this clause is in place. So they're not losing anything by going, okay, let's just make it a straight up loan with an option.
Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. And you'd think with the
we
stuff
might buy
he's done
it
at Liverpool that they'd want what's best for him. I feel for him, mate, because he's coming off the back of a season of player of the tournament for under 21s. What the? He's still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. He's coming off player of the tournament from the 21s last summer to not getting any game time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's something that must be so frustrating for him. And particularly when we had the likes of Evan Gassond, who we've just sold on. Like, I would have loved to have seen Harvey Elliott playing from the start of the season and never bought Evan Gassond. Do you know what I mean? But we'll never know.
But I tell you what, it was really weird when Bailey came, because when Bailey came on, I sat there going, fucking hell, this team. Emi Buendia, Tammy Abraham, Dougie Luiz, and Leon Bailey all on the pitch. I was like, have I travelled back in time? What is going on? Are we playing Forest in, like, are we playing Brentford in the Championship again? What's going on here? This is mental. Yeah, it was bizarre. It was bizarre. Yeah, I mean, we can obviously go over all these points as much as we like, but I think we're just going to tread on common ground. Obviously, we've got FA Cup this week. Well, what, I mean, does anyone care?
No, the FA Cup's not, mate. No, we've got FA Cup's the Valentine's Day, so we've got.
Oh shit! Who's this? Oh, it's Bournemouth. Sorry, my bad. We've got Bournemouth, so we'll be doing a Bournemouth preview later in the week, probably on Thursday. Like you said, I think it's a place that's a winnable game. I think we'd be interested to see if any news does come out about Ollie's injury. Hopefully, Anana's muscle fatigue has gone. But yeah, it's a bit of a downer. Like we say, we've had 2 games on the spin at home. I think that's the thing. It's at home. We've always relied on our home and been like it's an absolute fortress, turning into a bit of a sandcastle.
Yeah,
starting to crumble a little bit.
I think that's the problem as well. Why this one stings a little bit is because this is like the first time in 2 years since this has happened. So it's like you're like, what the fuck?
First time in history that Brentford have beat us at Villa Park as well.
Well, you called it before the game, mate. You jinxed it, didn't you?
I said you never won at Villa Park. You're not going to win. I've also just realised that I've put Aston Villa 0-1 Brentford. So I've spelt it wrong in the header. Like I put the T and the F the wrong way around. Oh well. It's just me. Don't matter. Anyway, mate. Right.
Yeah.
Final thoughts and sing us out.
Mate, I think it's my internet. I don't know what is going on.
Definitely your internet, yeah. Do you want to?
Yeah, I'm going to need
final
to
thoughts and sing us out. Final thoughts and sing us out.
Final thoughts is it's not the end of the world. We can bounce back. Let's come back against Bournemouth and get that victory. And then, like I say, if results go for us, we could be second in the Premier League this time next week. So I'm hopeful that is just a blip again. And there's enough there from looking at Tammy and Dougie that we can bounce back. All right.
If he doesn't come back, I'm going to have to do it. Yeah, obviously, like you said, we could go second because of City Spurs and what happened there. Oh, God, Gaz. I'm going to call it. Right. As always, we will be back on Thursday for that Bournemouth preview. But as always, guys, please do subscribe if you want more of this top quality content. Hopefully, Gary will sort out his internet connection next time. But as always, guys, I'll catch you next time. Every week we follow the boys in claret and blue. See ya.